रे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पश्चात्याशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Madhav, Shri Radhe. Jai Radha Gokul Nand, Radhe. Jai Yashoda Nandan, Jai Damodara, Jai Yashoda Nandamodara. Jai Jagannatha, Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra Mai, Jai Sudarshan Chakra, Jai Prahlad Nasimha, Jai Prahlad Nasimha, Jai Prahlad Nasimha, Jai Prahlad Nasimha, Jai Gauranitai, Jai Gauranitai. Jai Panchatattva, Jai Panchatattva. Jai Vrinde Devi, Jai Tulsi Maharani, Jai Vrinde Devi, Jai Tulsi Maharani. Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Jai Gurudev, Jai Srila Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for so nice, sweet kirtan. So on this auspicious Nityananda Triyodashi, Lord Nityananda's appearance.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Really a great opportunity for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I can see, listen, your son voice also very nicely singing, Praneeth. So yeah, it's a very nice. So one family, how we can involve in devotional service. This is a very good example. So thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
I see Yamuneshwari Mataji joined. Hare Krishna, Yamuneshwari Mataji. There is Arati is going on in Jagannath house.
Bhaskar Prabhu, this is Naveen. Can you make me as a co-host?
Okay, Prabhu. Yeah. Okay, Prabhu. So I'm making you. Yeah. Yeah, you are now co-host, Naveen Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Correct. So nice Arati is going on in Jagannath. So, yes. Hare Krishna, Jnanendra Prabhu. You can maybe switch on your audio, Prabhu. We can at least listen Arati in Jagannath house. So maybe, yeah. So in case, yeah, looks like Yamuneshwari Mataji going to something. Yeah, maybe we need anyone wants to do another 5 minutes kirtan. Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, can you all hear me?
Yes, Mataji, we can hear.
Prabhu, I can't hear you. Is it loud?
Yes, Mataji, we can hear you. Yes, Mataji, we can hear you. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah, he says, but I cannot hear you.
Okay. I think devotees you can hear Mataji's voice, right?
Yes, Prabhu, we can hear Prabhu.
Yes, yeah. I think Mataji's side then problem. Yeah, I can hear Mataji. Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, so so Hare Krishna to everyone. Wishing you all a happy Nityanand. So such an auspicious day we have all gathered today. For some So Hare Krishna devotees, thank you very much for joining. I hope many of you would have gone in the temple for the darshan or aarti or for the abhishek. Sorry, actually, because there is some issues here in the internet, so I'm using a different instrument. So that may be some disturbance. Yeah, so hope you all had darshan in the temple, maybe some of you in Soho or in Manor. And I think many of the devotees have now got Gaudnitai deities, so you will be having Abhishek, you would have got done Abhishek at home. So very nice, we will start. So we'll offer our prayers before we begin. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Chaitanya Chaitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurun Militamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langai Metripata Mahamande Shri Guru Vedatalinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Shripada Prasad Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nidunamini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Shri Shri Bhasha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadguru Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Shri Nityanand Triyodashi Mahamahotsav ki jai. Nityananda Prabhu Avirbhav Mahamahotsav ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay. So last week we had this wonderful appearance day celebration of Sri Advaita Acharya. So now today the very special day of Lord Shri Nityananda Prabhu. I mean, how can we glorify Lord Nityananda Prabhu with our limited senses? In fact, with Lord Nityananda being non-different from Ananta Sesh with his thousands of mouths, he mentions that he cannot glorify Lord Krishna enough because the glories of Krishna are unlimited. You keep glorifying, it is unlimited that you keep glorifying and glorifying and glorifying. You can't see a limit. You can't see any end. So how can we glorify, Ananta Sesha? We can glorify Balarama, who is non-different from Balarama, and this very Lord Shri Nityananda Prabhu. So it's not possible. Just try to repeat what our great acharyas have glorified. Even that we cannot fully repeat. So maybe a few drops, but even that few drops can, fully immerse us, in transcendental bliss. That is the power of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So today we have few pastimes and some glories which we have taken from the scriptures, which we would like to share with all of you. So let's get into it. So before we get into the full pastimes and glories, first of all, we should know who is Lord Nityananda. So who is Lord Nityananda Prabhu? If someone straight away asks, we will say that he's an eternal associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Always we see Mahaprabhu is accompanied by Sri Nityananda Prabhu. You see any Gaunitai, you see any deities, Nityananda Prabhu is always there with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You won't see them separately. So, so he's an eternal associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what else? Is he just only an associate? Okay, let's see. So Nityananda Prabhu is non-different from Lord Balarama. Balaram Hoilo Nitai. So non-different from Lord Balaram. And also when he came in the pastime of Lord Ramachandra, he came as Lord Lakshmana, as the younger brother of Lord Rama. So in every avatar, he takes a very specific role to accompany Krishna and to serve Krishna. As a servitude Lord, in the mood of service, as a mood of servant, always, Nityananda Prabhu serves. Whether it is elder brother or younger brother or whatever role, he always serves, comes to serve Krishna. you know. So that's what we can see that. Yeah, Prabhu. So it is a mood of servitude. Lord Nityananda Prabhu is an embodiment of servitude. We can see, and we can also see that Vrindavan Das Thakur in his Chaitanya Bhagavat. We all know Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is written by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. There is also a very wonderful literary work which glorifies Lord Gauranga and Nityananda, written by Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur, called Chaitanya Bhagavat. Actually, devotees can check, this Chaitanya Bhagavat audio book, which is available. We can try to, regularly hear. It is full of nectar. So let's read what is given here. So Vrindavan Das Thakur is actually a great fan of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So you see that in the, he mentions that, in fact, Chaitanya Bhagavat has got a lot of childhood pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you see Chaitanya Charitamrita, the childhood pastimes are less, and you see the other pastimes more in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Vrindavan Das Thakur, he also says that, oh, I got distracted by Lord Nityananda, by, glorifying him, that, he could not actually cover so many pastimes. And Vrindavan Das Thakur is a great devotee of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. And he mentions here, we can see here, he says that Nityananda Prabhu's face is more beautiful and cooling than the autumn moon. The effulgence coming out from his body is supremely beautiful. He always moves like a mad elephant, since he is always intoxicated with Krishna Prema. He's always mad after Krishna Prema. His body is completely pure spiritual energy. He always has a smiling face. His eyes are very fickle, moving to and fro. His lotus hand always holds a glowing staff. Yes, that is Sri Nityananda, who by the beating of that staff destroys all our reactions of Kali Yuga. We should take shelter of Sri Nityananda and cry for the mercy of Sri Nityananda. He is the root of Krishna Prema Bhakti Kalpataru, the root of the tree of loving devotion to Krishna. I, Vrindavan Das, the root of Krishna Bhakti Vriksha. Hari Bol. So this is the glorification given by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Okay, so we will, offer our pranams to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. There is a beautiful pranam mantra given. Nityananda Aham Naumi Sarvananda Karam Param. I request every one of you to read. Probably you can unmute. We can repeat. Nityanandam Aham Naumi Sarvananda Karam Param.
Sarvananda Karam
Harinama Pradam Devam.
Padam Devam
Manim.
Avadhuta Shiromani.
Okay, let's read. Us, who gives us the topmost ecstatic bliss to all by freely. Yes. Again, you can repeat.
Mayadita Vyapi
Vaikunta Loke.
Sri Chatur Vyuha Madhye.
Sri Chaturvyuha Madhye.
Rupam Yashodbhati.
Rupam Yashodbhati.
Sankarshanakyam.
Sankarshanakyam.
Tam Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapatye.
Tam Shri Nityananda Ramam Prapatye.
I surrender unto the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, who is known as Sankarshana in the midst of the Chaturvyuha, consisting of Vasudeva, Shankarshana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. He possesses full opulence and resides in Vaikunta Loka, far beyond the material creation. Okay. So just like we saw that, Prabhu, go to the last slide. I do not know how many of you remember this. Maybe this is a quiz for all of us. So in the Panchatattva, last week we mentioned that Advaita Acharya, appearance day, we were telling that there is a very beautiful verse. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. There are 5 personalities. Bhakta Rupa, Bhakta Swarupa, Bhakta Avataram, Bhakta Shakti and Bhaktakyam. So please tell me, who is Nityananda Prabhu out of this 5? Is he Bhakta Rupa, Bhakta Swarupa, Bhakta Avataram? Who is he?
Bhakta Avatara.
Bhakta Swarupa Mataji.
Bhakta Swarupa Mataji.
Okay, who is Advaita Acharya then?
Bhakta Avatara.
Yes, very nice. Advaita Acharya is Bhakta Avataram, that is devotional incarnation, right? Because he is a combination of Mahavishnu and Lord Shiva. And Lord Nityananda Prabhu is Bhakta Swarupakam. He is a manifestation of, devotional manifestation of Krishna. Yes? Wonderful. Okay, so just checking in between. You're all there. Okay, so here we can see devotee. Bhakta Rupa means devotee, that is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Bhakta Swarupa, devotional manifestation, is Nityananda Prabhu. Bhakta Avatar, devotional incarnation, Advaita Acharya. And Bhakti Shakti. Shakti means energy, that is Gadadhar Pandit, Radharani. And pure devotee, Bhaktakyam, which is Narada Muni, Shiva's Pandit. So we are going to see today a lot of wonderful pastimes as well. Okay, very nice. So we all are aware now. Nityananda Prabhu is Bhakti, Bhakta Swarupa. Okay, short biography given here. The childhood name of Nityananda Prabhu is sweetly called as Nitai. 13th day of the bright fortnight of Magh month. Magh month is February, March, which is now. So he appeared on the 13th day of the bright fortnight of Magh month in the year 1474. The appearance place of Lord Nityananda Prabhu is Eka Chakra Dham. That's why he is called as Nityanand Jaya Nityananda Ram Jaya Nityananda Ram Nityananda Ram Jaya Eka Chakra Dham. Eka Chakra. The very special thing about Eka Chakra is, if you go to Eka Chakra and tell Gaur Nitai, everyone will get angry. So we have to go to Eka Chakra. What do we say? Nitai Gaur. So what we should say? Nityananda Prabhu. Then Gauranga. So what we should say? Nitai Gaur. Yes. So Eka Chakra is a very, very special place, being the appearance place of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So father's name is Hadai Pandit and mother is Padmavati. And younger brother. Is it put younger brother? Bakarai. Okay. Actually, spiritual master, there are many, this thing, Lakshmipati Tirtha, actually is Madhavendra Puri. Some people say Madhavendra Puri. But of course, Madhavendra Puri also has taken from Lakshmipati Tirtha. So in a way, it is the same parampara. And he had 2 concerts. One is Janava Devi and Vasudha Devi. Basically, because Nityananda Prabhu is Balaram. Balaram had 2 concerts. Revati and who remembers another name? Who is Balaram's wife? Revati and
Jannavi.
Revati. No, Balaram's wife I'm asking.
Vasudha and Jahnavi Mata, Jahnava Devi Mata.
That is Nityananda Prabhu. I am asking Lord Balaram's concerts.
Yeah, Vasudha and Jahnava Mataji.
You are repeating the same thing. This is Nityananda Prabhu's concert, Prabhu. I am asking Balaram's concert.
Varuni.
Revati,
Yes.
Revati.
Revati and Varuni. So those Revati and Varuni became only Janava and Vasudha. Yes? Okay, that's nice. So when Nityananda Prabhu appeared, the Eka Chakra, Dham became so, jubilant. to receive Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and so many beautiful childhood pastimes. So we can see here, when before the Lord appeared, there was a severe drought, massive drought, and people were the entire village, of Ekachakra was, people were suffering from this drought. And then what happened when Lord Nitai appeared from Padmavati Devi? Then immediately there was a rain shower everywhere, and everything started blooming, and it was people became very joyful. And also everyone would go and see Nitai, and always say they will be surrounded. You see, Nitai is always surrounded by people. He was looking so beautiful, so charming, but they couldn't understand that he is God. Just like because the Lord puts some yoga maya influence, so that they don't see him with awe and reverence. Rather, they shower all love. So Ekachakra Dham became very jubilant by the appearance of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu, you can go to the next one. So the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, because not ordinary human beings, when we see our hands and legs, we don't see the special marks. But the Supreme Lord is beautiful, and when he incarnates, and when his eternal associates, they have some special marks, being the transcendental personalities. So Lord Nityananda Prabhu's lotus feet has got nearly 20 transcendental symbols, which you can see here. Same as in his lotus hands also, like conch. You can see the lotus flower, the bow, and each of the symbols represents a specific and each of this symbol has a special significance. That itself needs a class to explain, but we will just say a few words. So for example, there is a conch. If you see in our daily aarti, when we are offering the Lord aarti, first we offer incense, then we offer the fire, the lamp, and then we offer the conch water, right? The fire of it is like a conch water. After fire, a cooling, like effect of water. Similarly, we are all burning the forest of material existence. And, Lord Nityananda's lotus feet are like a cooling shade, a shower of rain, and it extinguishes the forest of material existence. Even our Samsara Dava, we are singing in the morning prayer, how the spiritual master extinguishes the fire of material existence by showering this the mercy cloud, cloud of mercy. Similarly, because Nityananda Prabhu is actually the Adi Guru, he also helps us to he's extinguishing this fire of material existence. And similarly, various symbols are given, like the symbol of bow. The bow is mentioned that by it will by taking shelter of Lord Nityananda's lotus feet, one can overcome all the distress, all kinds of fear. And also the flag, it indicates that the Lord gives us security, the protection. So like that, each of the symbols has a great significance. So basically, by taking shelter of Lord Nityananda's lotus feet, one can free himself from all kinds of sufferings and distress, and one is awarded all kind of protection. Okay, Prabhu. So glories of Nityananda Prabhu, so many wonderful glories are mentioned in the scriptures. Like Mahaprabhu cannot be approached or understood without the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. So just like they say that without Balaram's mercy, we cannot understand Krishna. Similarly, we cannot understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or even we cannot approach it, because there are many pastimes to give evidence, which we will see later. This statement is not just a statement. It can be substantiated by many wonderful pastimes, which will come later. So without Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, one cannot attain Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. And also Nityananda Prabhu is Guru Tattva. He's the Adi Guru. So all the gurus, who we have, whether it could be Diksha Guru, Siksha Guru, they all are actually, the manifestation of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, the Guru Tattva. They are representing the Guru Tattva actually. That's why it is mentioned that without a Nitai, we cannot get Radha Krishna. Heno Nitai bine by Radha Krishna paitena. So all the gurus are originating from, uh, Nityananda Prabhu, Balaram. So taking shelter of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, we will be able to get Lord Radha and Krishna's mercy. Yes. You see, Nityananda Prabhu serves the Lord in different pastimes, taking Lakshmana. He's also the Sankarshana, serving the Lord. And as Ananta Sesh, he serves the Lord in, all the paraphernalias of the Lord, whether it could be a pillow, it could be a earring, it could be a helmet, it could be a chariot, it could be a bed, it could be the shoes, all the paraphernalias of the Lord, or actually expansions of Balaram or Nityananda Prabhu. So that means he takes, he comes in all these different forms to serve serve the Supreme Lord. So his mood is always serving. Doesn't matter. He comes as elder brother, younger brother, or as any paraphernalia. He always finds an opportunity to serve Krishna. That is, his mood is full of service, embodiment of service. Yes. Okay. Next one, Prabhu. So Nityananda Prabhu is a merciful incarnation. We see so many pastimes, especially the pastime of Jaga and Madai. We know how Jaga and Madai, they were, kind of completely drunk. And not only that, we know that how with the clay pot, Madai was actually hitting, Nityananda Prabhu. But what did Nityananda Prabhu say? Just because you are hitting me, you think I will not be giving you love? So just like a child, kicks a mother, the mother doesn't take that as an offense, right? Similarly, Nityananda Prabhu doesn't take any offense, even though one commits a very greatest offense to him. Very, very forgiving. But rather, he always, willing to give prema. So Jagai and Madai, they did so much of offense, but yet, Nityananda Prabhu was giving him the highest treasure of Krishna Prema. When Madai hit Nityananda Prabhu, we all know the pastime that the information, the news reached Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Lord Chaitanya got so angry. He came to the spot with a Sudarshan Chakra to kill Madai and Jagai and Madai. But what did, Nityananda Prabhu do? He caught hold of Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet and he said, "My dear Lord, this incarnation is not for any punishment. You have come to give love. So please excuse Madai and shower him with your love." That is the mood of Lord Nityananda. And we could see that how, because of his petition, because of his request, Madai and Jagai and Madai became the great devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who can be more merciful than Lord Nityananda Prabhu? Yes. And then we see that Kala Krishna Das. Kala Krishna Das is a, it was an associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In our Chaitanya Charitamrita class also, I mentioned this pastime, that Kala Krishna Das was going with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during his visit, South India visit. And then Kala Krishna Das, what happened when at a particular place, he was captured by the gypsies. And he went behind the gypsy women and he just lost his senses. Even though he was in the presence of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he got distracted. And then it was, Nityananda Prabhu. Then what happened? Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes and brings back Kala Krishna Das. He, catches the, Shika of Kala Krishna Das and he brings him back. But then later, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that, "I don't want to take Kala Krishna Das. I don't want to see him." Because he saw that, he went astray. So he don't want to take him back in his service. But what did Nityananda Prabhu do? Nityananda Prabhu, he was rejected by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but Nityananda Prabhu was thinking what service I can give for Kala Krishna Das. And he found one service. What service? Okay, we need somebody to go to Bengal to give news about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Mother Sachi. So we have to send someone. Why can't we put Kala Krishna Das? Let Kala Krishna Das go and give this news, to Sachimata. So in that way, Kala Krishna Das, even though he was rejected and refused mercy by the most magnanimous Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but Nityananda Prabhu gave him shelter and service. So that is the greatness of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. And then we see the many pastimes. Yes, Prabhu, we can go to the next. Chota Haridas. When the least mercy is expected, Nitai surprises you by giving the highest. Chota Haridas Thakur, he's called Chota Haridas. The big Haridas, that Haridas is the Nama Acharya. This Chota Haridas is also an eternal associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But what happened was, once Chota Haridas went and begged some rice from one Mataji. She was a great devotee, and she was a sister of Shiki Mahiti, who is an associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Her name is Madhavi Devidasi. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, where did this rice came from? Everyone told this was the rice brought by Chota Haridas. As soon as Mahaprabhu heard that, he said that I don't want to look at Chota Haridas. Everyone was stunned. What mistake did he do? Then Mahaprabhu said only one word. I don't like to keep connection with those who have intimate connection with women. Actually, Chota Haridas, no one knows. Actually, he just went and, Prabhupada mentions later at some of the places that he looked at, he looked at that Mataji in not in a right mood, just for that one little. Just that he didn't look at her properly. For just that small thing, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I don't want to look at him. And I don't want to see him at all. We may think Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is extremely merciful personality, very magnanimous. How can he be so hard and strong? But here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants us to give a very strong point, because Chota Haridas was, was a renunciant. So if a renunciant, has any connection, wrong connection, or is looking someone lustily, then he has to be rejected. You cannot show any mercy. So the future, people don't quote Chota Haridas and do something wrong. So that's why Mahaprabhu rejected. But Nityananda Prabhu, went and appealed on his behalf. So that is a mercy. Even though the Lord is rejected, but Nityananda Prabhu wants to somehow, get that mercy for Chota Haridas. But of course, finally, we all know Chota Haridas is such a wonderful and sincere devotee of the Lord. When he came to know that Mahaprabhu rejected, he went and committed suicide. But of course, he became a Gandharva and eternally sang for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's a very different pastime. Okay, let's go into it. But it was Nityananda Prabhu who showed mercy. Okay, let's see. In the younger age, when childhood passed him, we see Nityananda Prabhu used to perform a lot of dramas, very exciting, wonderful dramas, and people would wonder how he knows all these things, in a very young age. But of course, he's the Supreme Lord himself, right? And especially the role of a Lakshmana, he will do so perfectly. And even each dialogue he will say so nicely, because Lakshmana is not different from it. Is Nityananda Prabhu is Lakshman, so he knows his dialogue. You don't have to memorize. So that in that way he was giving a lot of joy to all the residents of Ekachakra. So we see in Govardhan Leela, in Krishna's pastime also. In Govardhan Leela. Prabhu, you go all the Leelas one by one. So because of the time, I will go fast. So in Govardhan Leela, and the pastimes of, Krishna's appearance, in the prison house. What is the other one, Prabhu? Slaying of Putana, in butter stealing. So he's, you see that Balarama plays a very important role. Balaram's role is there in every single pastime of Krishna, isn't it? When you see Krishna even though Krishna may kill a demon, but you see that Balaram's presence is also there. you know. So Balarama personally killed some demons, but in some of the things he, Krishna killed the demons, but you see the Balaram's presence is always there, and Balarama also would massage Krishna's lotus feet, and in that way, always he was assisting, Krishna in various pastimes. We see that in a Vamana Dev, Bali Maharaj pastime also, how that you go, the last slide. No, the before one. No. Yeah, Lakshmana, we saw that, Prabhu. Yeah, go fast. Let's go to the main ones because there are so many slides there. Next one, Prabhu. You keep going to the pastimes, Prabhu. Yeah. Okay. So Nityananda Prabhu, he traveled to many places from the childhood. Actually, when Nityananda Prabhu was a very small young child, one sannyasi came to his house. His name was Shankara Narayana Puri. So Nityananda Prabhu's parents, Hadai Pandit and Padmavati Devi, very nicely received them and served them. Finally, when the sannyasi was about to leave, they said that, okay, how can we serve you? I mean, what can we give you? And then the sannyasi asked, we want your son. Just imagine. But those days, when they ask anything, they will give. Those days people were like that. So Hadai Pandit and Padmavati Devi, they were so attached to Nityananda Prabhu, but because the sannyasi asked, they couldn't say no, right? So they allowed Nityananda Prabhu to go along with the sannyasi. So Nityananda Prabhu traveled for nearly 20 years. That means a very young age he left home and went with this mendicant sannyasi and traveled all over India, to various places of pilgrimage along with that sannyasi. And then on the separation of Nityananda Prabhu, later Adai Pandit will leave his body, disappear. But very childhood itself, Nityananda Prabhu will leave home and travel various places, which includes Vrindavan also. Okay, Prabhu, in the next one. So this is a very beautiful pastime which has happened in Navadip Dham. People who have visited Navadip will know this place, Nandanacharya's house. It's a very special place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu will meet for the first time. I mean, apparently, they are eternal associates, but in the past time, they will meet first time. This is a very beautiful place. So it is mentioned that whoever hears this particular pastime of the first meeting of Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, they get Krishna Prema. So it is a very wonderful pastime of both of them meeting each other. One second. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's elder brother is Vishwarupa. We all know that. But Vishwarupa left his home early and took sannyas. But Vishwarupa, the elder brother of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is also an expansion of Nityananda Prabhu. So he's non-different from Nityananda Prabhu. So that's why Mother Sachi, when she saw Nityananda Prabhu, she said, "You are my son, you are my son, you are my son." Because he's non-different from Vishwarupa, who is elder brother of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is, we all know this pastime, which is the Navahata. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur a very special instruction. He said that Suno Suno Nityananda, Suno Haridas, Sarvatra Amara Agnya Koroho Prakash, Prati Gare Gare Giye Korohe Bhiksha, Bolo Krishna Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Siksha. So he said to Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu, go door to door and beg for these 3 alms. What are the 3 alms? Ask people to chant the holy name, ask them to worship Krishna, and ask them to read the teachings of Krishna, which is Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu would go door to door, knock the door. And when someone opened the door, they won't find Nityananda Prabhu because he would be on the ground, falling flat, offering Dandavat Pranams, begging them, "Oh, my dear residents, please chant Krishna's name, worship Krishna, and study the teachings of Krishna. So like that, Nityananda Prabhu goes personally door to door and begs everyone. So that means Nityananda Prabhu is also coming to our house and begging all of us to chant the holy name. So if at all we want to please Nityananda Prabhu, we should also take this. It is not just he is going and knocking so we should take this instruction very seriously, that we chant Krishna's name every day, we worship Krishna, we study scriptures, at least spend 15 minutes of our time every day, and also inspire others to do the three things. In that way, Nityananda Prabhu will be very, very happy. We should remember when we are chanting, oh, Nityananda Prabhu will be very happy. When we are worshipping, we should think that Nityananda Prabhu will be very pleased, because these are the three things he wants from all of us. So if we do, he will become very happy. And breaking the sannyas danda, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas in Katwa, and on the way, when they were all, chanting and dancing and then doing kirtan, Nityananda Prabhu was also there. And at one point, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave his danda stick, the sannyas danda. He told Nityananda Prabhu, hold this danda stick, I will take bath in the river and come back. When he gave the stick, Nityananda Prabhu took the danda stick, broke into pieces and threw in the water. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, upset. The reason why Nityananda Prabhu broke, there are many reasons given. One of the primary reason Nityananda Prabhu broke the sannyas danda, because the Lord is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why he should carry a danda, right? And he feels that the Lord whom I carry in my heart, why he should carry a danda stick? It is a burden for him, right? Carry all the way. So I don't want my Lord to carry the stick. So he, broke into pieces and threw. And not only that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being the Supreme Lord, he don't have to follow any rules and regulation. Normal sannyasi have to carry a danda stick, but he is the Supreme Lord. Why he should take the, sannyas danda? So that is the reason, the Lord, Nityananda Prabhu breaks sannyas danda. It's a very beautiful pastime. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can only get angry, but he cannot say anything to Nityananda Prabhu. He can understand his heart. Yeah. So, and we see that King Prataparudra Maharaj, we all know the story, how King Prataparudra, being the great Raja Rishi, saintly king who ruled Orissa, Jagannath Puri, he had such a love for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But because he was a king, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I don't want to meet a king. I don't want to see a materialistic person. So he never gave his audience to King Prataparudra Maharaj. And so many times Prataparudra Maharaj will beg through so many people, at least let me get a glance. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was always telling something and then was not ready to see him. But it was Nityananda Prabhu who actually, bent and told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that, he's such a wonderful, he was glorifying Prataparudra Maharaj, and he said, okay, why can't you give your mercy to his son? And then he say, you can give your cloth, he will be very pleased. So like that, the Lord's cloth, the Lord will give his cloth to Nityananda Prabhu, Nityananda Prabhu will give it to Prataparudra Maharaj, because it is mentioned that the Lord's Maha, is non-different. So in that way, you see that Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, finally, King Prataparudra Maharaj actually gets audience of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he went in the dress of a beggar and sang this very beautiful Gita Govindam, right? And by hearing that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very pleased and he embraced Prataparudra Maharaj with the very famous Bhuri Rajana, that particular verse when Nityananda, when Prataparudra Maharaj sang, he became very pleased. Yes, Prabhu. This is a very beautiful pastime of thieves surrendering to Nityananda Prabhu. So there is in Navadip Dham, there is when one wonderful devotee by name Hiranya Pandit was there. This Hiranya Pandit's house, Nityananda Prabhu was staying for some time. So then what happened was, in that particular Navadip Dham, that particular time, there was one great dacoit thief, and he was the commander-in-chief of all the thieves. And head thief, he's planning with all the thieves, because Nityananda Prabhu, he dresses very nicely, very costly dress, and everyone offers with love. And Nityananda Prabhu offers his wears his garments, and then he was all his fingers will have golden rings, and then diamond studs, and wonderful helmet. Seeing all the things, they thought that, oh, if we rob this one person, that's it, we don't have to, lifelong we can be very relaxed. So the commander-in-chief of the thief, he will call all the thieves for a meeting. Okay, see, this Nityananda Prabhu has got so many ornaments. We will plan and go to, Hiranya Pandit's house and steal all the things, and lifelong we can be very millions of rupees we can get. So they will plan, they will come together and plan, and they will think that, okay, they will arrange one spy to see what is happening inside. So the spy will go and watch through the window what is Nityananda Prabhu doing. Nityananda Prabhu will be eating prasadam with all the devotees, and everyone was very blissfully chanting a holy name and relishing prasadam. So then the spy will come back and tell the thief, the head of the thief, and the head will say, okay, let's wait, let them eat prasadam and go to rest, then we will attack the house. So they will wait for some time, and then when they go to attack, the house, what happens is that by the Nityananda Prabhu's special mercy, Nidra Devi will attack all of them. Everyone will speak so sleepy, so sleepy that they will be falling in the ground and sleeping. Nidra Devi attacking. So Nidra Devi attacked and everyone slept. Then even next day morning also they didn't wake up, very late. Then the thieves will wake up. What happened to all of us? Then the head thief will say, you only were sleeping. So no, we all were sleeping. Then they will understand, how did we sleep? Anyway, not to worry. Second time, we will make it successful. So they will come back again the next night. Okay, now today, I think we have not prayed to the Chandi Devi properly. We will go and pray to goddess Chandi that our attempt should be successful. So they went to Chandi and pray to Chandi that today we want to go and attack, this house. So next day they all got ready, and now the thieves, everyone are approaching the house of Hiranya Pandit. Suddenly they saw very effulgent, bright looking, very strong guards guarding the house of Hiranya Pandit. They turn this side, there are guards. They turn that side, there are guards. And they would wonder, oh, yesterday we saw nobody was there. Today, everywhere there are guards. What happened? Maybe Nityananda Prabhu came to know that we are actually trying to, steal all this wealth. So like that, they will have conversation. Oh, I don't think so. If we go inside, we will be caught. Okay. We will find another opportunity. We will come back after some time. So third time they are planning. So third time when they planned, what happened was they planned very nicely, and suddenly their eyes all got blind, and they couldn't really see. Then they were wondering what happened to us. Just few minutes back we could see everything, but now we are not able to see anything. Someone is falling into the ditch, someone is falling somewhere else, and some insects are biting them. And suddenly, Indradev sent hailstorms, and they couldn't saw so much of suffering. And then finally the head of the thief could realize, I think Lord Nityananda is not an ordinary personality. He should be the Lord himself. And he suddenly had a change of heart. And then he ran towards the house, fell at the feet of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Please forgive us. Actually, first time we attempted like this, second time we attempted like this, third time, still, we were so dull brained, that we couldn't understand that you are the Supreme Lord. So please forgive us. And he will offer so many wonderful prayers. And, started ecstatically dancing and singing, and falling at the feet of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So that was the potency of Nityananda Prabhu. that the thieves finally surrendered at his lotus feet. Okay, so we'll see the next pastime. So many pastimes like that, and this is very amazing, as we all know. Adbut Mandir Hoibe Prakash. There is Nityananda Prabhu said that a very beautiful temple is going to manifest. What is that Adbut Mandir? Which is the TOAP, Temple of Vedic Planetarium, which we are all awaiting. And Chaitanya Nityananda Prabhu personally took Jiva Goswami and he made a Navadip Parikrama. So today we see thousands and thousands of people going to Navadip Parikrama. That was originally started by Lord Nityananda Prabhu. He personally took one of the Goswamis by name Jiva Goswami, and for this parikrama. And today in ISKCON we see that every year devotees go to Navadip Parikrama, going to all the 9 islands, the pastime places of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we cannot forget this Temple of Vedic Planetarium, which is the where this entire Srimad Bhagavatam, what we study, they are putting as exhibits, so that people who are from a scientific background, they can also go and see how this models works. So Srimad Bhagavatam is not just a spiritual book or a Vedic encyclopedia, but it is also so scientific. So this will attract people from all over the world to come to the holy land of Navadip Dham. So we will see some short clip of the current Vedic planetarium, which is now under construction. Prabhu, can you share that one, Prabhu, that video?
The Temple of Vedic Planetarium is a most unique temple in the world. With 700,000 square feet and a height of 350 feet, this temple is not just extraordinary in its dimensions. The beautiful temple will bring people from all over the world to the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to engage them in devotional service. The dome has a diameter of 177 feet, and a gigantic chandelier hanging from the dome's ceiling will display the Vedic planetarium. It will present the universe according to Srimad Bhagavatam. The chakra, the largest in the world, has a diameter of 23 feet, is gold pelleted, and was installed in 2018. Lord Nityananda predicted that here in Sri Dham Mayapur, West Bengal, a beautiful temple will be built. From this temple, the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be spread in every town and village.
So it's very, so it's very nice. Because of the current pandemic, the opening is getting delayed. But we all of us can pray to the Lord, so the Lord can permit us to visit this very wonderful place, along with all the devotees. That will be amazing. So we can offer our humble prayers to the Lord, to Nityananda Prabhu. This Adbhut Mandir, we can also go and visit and offer some service. So it's nice. There are many service opportunities are also available still. Of course, we can see that, even a small construction needs a lot of Lakshmi. So certainly, a temple of this caliber with these details requires a lot of Lakshmi. So we can go and, in the website TOVP, and if anyone feels inspired, there are many opportunity to sponsor different things. We can still do that. Yeah. So Lord Nityananda comes to Krishna Das Kaviraj in a dream and instructs to write Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this is a very great book, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, written by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who was that time 90 plus years. So it was an instruction given by Lord Nityananda Prabhu himself through the dream. And that's why Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, even in that very age of 90 plus years, he could write this entire, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So that is the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Yes. And the very just like Advaita Acharya, we cannot forget Shantipur festival, right? Similarly, Nityananda Prabhu means we cannot forget Pani Hati festival, right? I think devotees in East London are quite familiar with the Pani Hati festival. Whether we know other festival or not, Pani Hati festival we all know very well. It comes during the month of June, and beautiful pastime of how Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, being from a wealthy family, and later he desires to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he tries so many various ways to go and meet and take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but every time it attempt will be failed. But then one time he comes to know that Lord Nityananda Prabhu has come to Panihati Dham. So then he goes, to take his darshan. And then Nityananda Prabhu says, "You are a thief." Why he said like that? Because Raghunatha Dasa Goswami is trying to get the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without going through Nityananda Prabhu. Because who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He is the property of Nityananda Prabhu. If you want someone's property, you want to enter, you should ask the permission from the owner, right? So the owner is Nityananda Prabhu. But because Raghunatha Dasa Goswami did not approach Nityananda Prabhu and was trying to directly go and to get Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so he was called as thief. But then the Lord said, "Okay, I'm giving you punishment." So sweet. See, Lord Nityananda Prabhu's punishment is also very sweet. Generally, punishment is no one wants punishment, but here this punishment everyone would love to have. And what is the punishment? He said that feed all my devotees, associates with the chitta and dahi, chip rice and yogurt. So then, very happily, Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, makes lot of dahi chida, preparations, and serves all his intimate associates. The entire village comes, and there is no place that they are sitting in the Ganga water. Someone is in the middle of the water, having two pots, honoring this wonderful Chita Dahi preparations, prasadam. So it's a very, very beautiful festival. So this festival, it happened by the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. It is a punishment, actually. It's a punishment festival. That's why it's called Danda Mahotsava. So if his punishment is very sweet, means his blessing will be how sweet, right? So Raghunatha Dasa Goswami got blessings from, and after getting the blessings of Raghunatha Nityananda Prabhu, he could get Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. So this pastime is a clear indication that one needs the mercy of Nitai to get the mercy of Gauranga. Yes. So Nityananda Prabhu punishes Sivananda Sena. This is a very beautiful pastime. Also, Sivananda Sena is a personality, very, very great personality and an associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Every year, he takes nearly 200 devotees all the way from Bengal, to Jagannath Puri. Not only that, he pays for all their accommodation, prasadam, and the toll, at every place. He pays the toll amount also. So just imagine such a magnanimous personality, Shivananda Sena. So one particular time when Shivananda Sena was taking all of them, to Jagannath Puri, at one place they will got delayed. So Nityananda Prabhu will ask whether all the devotees have taken prasadam. But then, because of the delay, the prasadam will be delayed. So Nityananda Prabhu very externally he will show anger by kicking at Shivananda Sena. But Shivananda Sena did not take it offensively. He rather took it, who will get Lord Nitai's lotus feet? Such a mercy that Nitai has given me that mercy. So in that way, he gave that mercy to Shivananda Sena. Actually, why Nityananda Prabhu actually, it looks like punishment, but actually it is a mercy, because Lord Nityananda's lotus feet, who will get it? Why he got this special mercy? Because he was serving all the devotees so nicely. So that way, Lord's Nitai's lotus feet, even what great personalities hanker to have on their head, Shivananda Sena, which very easily got. So that's mercy we can see here. And he is also called Avaduta. Sometimes Nityananda Prabhu, it will be very difficult to understand him. Avaduta means someone who is not bound by rules and regulations. Certain activities you cannot question him, like an ordinary person, why he did like that, why he did. Nityananda Prabhu will act sometimes funnily, but that is for the betterment of the devotee. So it's very difficult to understand his personality. That's why he's called Avaduta. Yes. And Advaita Acharya, I think I told this last time also, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya will invite them to have prasadam at his house. And he and his wife, Sita Thakurani, would cook a very huge feast. So many preparations. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would say that, I can't eat all these things. So much you have cooked. Then Advaita Acharya would say, you can't eat so much. I am just a sannyasi. No, don't cheat me. I know in Jagannath Puri you are eating 56 items. You are the same Lord eating 56 items. You think you cannot, you are telling me that you cannot eat? Don't cheat me. But Nityananda Prabhu will say opposite. I thought I will have a very big piece. I did not eat for a few days. I am so hungry. But what is this? This is not even a morsel for me. I thought I will have a big piece, but Advaita Acharya has cheated me by not giving very little prasadam. Nityananda Prabhu. And he will throw the rice like this. And as soon as that one morsel of rice touched it, because it was the remnants of Nityananda Prabhu, it touched Advaita Acharya's body. He became so ecstatic and started dancing, in ecstatic love. We can see here Advaita Acharya dancing in it. That is the potency of Nityananda Prabhu. It's remnants. Remnants have the power to make us dance in ecstasy. Yes, Prabhu. Lord Nityananda Prabhu, this is Malini Devi. Malini Devi is wife of Shiva Thakur. So one time Malini Devi made a wonderful preparation and she was, offering to the Lord. Suddenly one crow came and picked up that, small cup, which she was kept for offering, the offering cup. Then when Malini Devi saw that with so much love and so much this thing, she cooked all these preps, and one very nice preparation which she wanted to offer, this crow picked up and flew off. So she was crying, that it's so inauspicious, this crow has come and taken this cup and gone. So when Nityananda Prabhu saw, immediately he looked at the crow. He said that, bring back the cup. The crow turned back, stunned, looking at Nityananda Prabhu, and brought back the cup and kept. So Nityananda Prabhu, doesn't matter whether it's a crow or it is Jagai Mada, it is anyone and everyone. The thieves, Nityananda Prabhu will make everyone surrender at his lotus feet. Yes, Prabhu. And finally, Nityananda, there are many, many more pastimes, but because we have a very short time, we just fast basis, little bit we have touched. And finally, Nityananda Prabhu, how he disappeared from this world is that, winded his pastime is that he entered this very beautiful deity, which is in Ekachakra actually, where his appearance place. The deity is called Banke Rai. So it's a Krishna deity of Banke Rai. Nityananda Prabhu went inside this temple and entered into the deity. That is the way he disappeared from this world. Actually, it is mentioned in another place that Janava Mata, who is actually the wife of Nityananda Prabhu, when she came to know that Nityananda Prabhu has entered into Bankirai deity, she went there and chanted and cried, "Oh, my dear Lord, I can't bear your separation." The Lord will come out. Come out from the Bankirai, then again he will enter into. So it's a very beautiful deity. We can, if we go to Ekachakradam, we can see this deity still. So it's very So in that way, Nityananda Prabhu wounded his earthly pastimes. Yes, Prabhu. So we see that Srila Prabhupada carry forward the mission of Nityananda Prabhu. What is that? Uh, risking life and preaching the glories of Krishna Chaitanya, right? That's what Nityananda Prabhu, if you see throughout, because he was given, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed him, go to Bengal and flood Bengal with Krishna Prem. So Nityananda Prabhu he told that don't come to Jagannath Puri every year. All the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said that come every year. But for Nityananda Prabhu, he gave a different order. Stay in Bengal and flood Bengal with Krishna Prema. But yet Nityananda Prabhu would sometime come, to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And his mood was actually just giving out Lord Chaitanya, Krishna Prema. So we see that Srila Prabhupada, he did not stay in Vrindavan. He could have stayed in Vrindavan very happily, very nicely. No need to, nobody, he's not obliged, to go out. But he took all these hardships traveling from, the cargo ship, going to different countries all over the world. So many flights, so many, difficulties to go through, just, to give this message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You see, if we take the books, Srila Prabhupada books, in most of the places, Prabhupada, many pages you can find that Prabhupada always mentions that Lord Chaitanya's message should be spread all over the world, in every town and village, because that was Lord Chaitanya's desire as well. And his Guru Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also gave the same instruction, that in every town and village, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message should be spread. So Srila Prabhupada carried forward the mission of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. And now we see his disciples. They are all doing it. Prabhupada disciples, you see, they also travel all over the world, every corner of the world. Even pandemic time, they know that they can't physically travel. They are traveling through Zoom, giving out their mercy. So that is the mood of all the great personalities in our parampara. So what we have to do to get the mercy of Nitai Chandra, what we have to do, this is a very, very, Nityananda Prabhu himself says, what does he say? He says, Bhaja Gaurango, Keh Gaurango, Leh Gaurange Namare, Je Jana Gaurango Bhaje, Se hoy amar pran re, Bhaja Gaurango, Keh Gaurango, Leh Gaurange Namare. So whoever takes it, Gauranga Bolia, whoever takes the, worships Lord Gauranga, whoever talks about Gauranga, they are my life and soul. So if we want to please Lord Nityananda Prabhu, then we should chant Gauranga's name, we should worship Gauranga, and we should follow the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in that way, we will be able to please him. And also, as we all know that he is the Adi Guru, the Guru Tattva. So by following the instructions of our spiritual master, the Acharyas, in that way also, we will be able to please Lord Nityananda Prabhu. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada mentions that Krishna gives us the sword of knowledge, but Balaram gives the strength. So knowledge Krishna gives, but strength who gives? Balaram. So with the help of, so with the mercy of Balaram, with the spiritual strength of Balaram, we can conquer our enemies. We all have, in the path of our Krishna consciousness, we have many, many enemies. And Srimad Bhagavatam mentions what are the enemies. The enemies are false prestige, duplicity, envy, anger, hostility, attachment. Like that, we can list a lot of things. All these enemies are stumbling blocks in our devotional life. We are not able to progress. Many times we get stuck, you know. So how do we conquer these enemies? In simple words, all the anarthas. How do we conquer these anarthas? So then Srila Prabhupada mentions that this anarthas we can cut through with this sword of knowledge, with the help, with the mercy of Balaram, with the strength of Balaram, with the strength received from Balaram, we can cut through all these anarthas. So unless these anarthas goes, we cannot perform pure devotional service, right? We are all doing devotional service now. Every one of us are doing devotional service, but this devotional service is tainted with so many things. Sometimes the devotional service is tainted with expectation, name, fame, glory, or at least I'm just doing it because I want to be happy. So many different things, so many motives, gross, subtle motives. But so this doesn't make it pure. We are doing devotion service, but it is not pure devotion service. It is Mishra Bhakti. It is mixed with so many different motives. In order to perform pure devotional service, we need to cut through all these anarthas. And who has the power to do it? How can we do it? Can we do it alone? No, we cannot do it. We need the mercy of the spiritual master. We need the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. We need the mercy of Balarama. Balarama, one who gives a bala, strength. In today's world, everyone is speaking about health, right? Health is one of the things which everyone speaks about. Physical strength. So there is physical strength, there is mental strength, and the spiritual strength. In fact, we need all the three. If you don't have physical strength, then it is very difficult for us to do any seva or anything, in the service of the Lord. If say someone has got physical strength, but he don't have a mental strength, what is the use of that physical strength? Can't do anything. Mentally, if someone is gone, then that person cannot do actually anything. But say someone has got physical strength and mental strength, but he don't have spiritual strength, then completely useless, because he will only use all this energy in the materialistic way of life, and find more and more he will get entangled. So that's why it's so important. One of the most important strength which is required is spiritual strength. So Balarama provides us that spiritual strength. So then with that spiritual strength, we can conquer many of these enemies in our path of Krishna consciousness. Say for example, if you want to fast for any festival, say even Nityanand Triyodashi. I'm not talking about people who have, if we have a health complication, we can't fast. That is a different thing. But say everything is fine, but still we are not fasting. That means we don't have the physical, we don't have the spiritual strength. Sometimes we may want to do our chanting very nicely, perfectly good, in a consistent way. Sometimes devotees say that I am not able to chant, because that means we do not have the spiritual strength.
My turn.
So we lack spiritual strength in a very greater scale. So that is the reason many times we desire something, but we are not able to execute it. Sometimes we think, I want to read Srila Prabhupada books every day, 30 minutes. But we fail. Maybe we will do one day, second day, third day, fail. Then after 1 month, we will remember, okay, again we will make a vow, and then we will again try, we will fail. So why it is happening? Because we don't have the spiritual strength. So that is why it is very important for us to take shelter of lotus feet of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Then we will be able to actually do all that we desire, in the service of Krishna. So that's why it's so important for us, Nityananda Prabhu. Only by his mercy that we will be able to, serve Krishna nicely, serve Gauranga nicely. Srila Prabhupada gives a very heavy statement, the next one. What is it, Prabhu? Can you put the next one? He says that, okay, before that, yeah. Srila Prabhupada mentions that, that spiritual strength is Balaram. Bala means strength. Therefore, we have to take shelter of the lotus feet of Balarama, Guru Tattva. Balarama means Guru. Balaram represents Guru. Yasya Prasadat Bhagavat Prasada. If we want to understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we want to understand Krishna, then we must take shelter of Balaram. Nityananda means always. Nitya means always. Ananda means pleasure. This is another meaning you can draw. So therefore, if you have no connection with Nityananda Prabhu, he is simply wasting time. Narottama Das Thakur, in this very famous Mataji sang in the very beginning, Nitai Pada Kamala. Towards the end, he says, at some point, he says that those who don't have connection with Nityananda Prabhu, he's simply wasting time. So Prabhupada is saying that it's very important for all of us to understand who is Nityananda Prabhu and then pray to him and read more about him so that we can develop a extremely merciful. Even though we don't remember any of the pastimes, we can just remember this one thing, Jagai and Madai pastime. How the most, the most fallen personalities. It is mentioned that the most fallen personalities will get the first mercy. We can see that in the case of Jagai and Madai. In fact, we are more fallen, than Jagai and Madai. So we can claim, to Nityananda Prabhu that I am the most fallen, so please give me the mercy. That's what the great acharyas have done. Because you give mercy to the most fallen, so I am the most fallen, so kindly give me your mercy. Just Madai's heart got transformed. We can also pray to Lord Nityananda Prabhu today that please, all these demonic tendencies, all these unwanted desires, all that are sitting in my core of my heart. With this, how can I perform pure devotion service? So, dear Lord Nityananda Prabhu, please remove all this. And not only that, this material world, we are always in anxiety. This anxiety or that anxiety, something comes all the time. So, how can we be peaceful when all these anxieties are coming? So how to get peaceful? And Srila Prabhupada says, when we catch hold of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, then we can become peaceful. Because his name is Ananda. That's why Narottama Das takes Narottama Goro Duki Nitai More Koro Suki. Narottama Das Thakur saying, I am most distressed, but you are most blissful. So I am coming to you, my dear Lord. So if we want happiness in our life, if we want, to be, blissful, if we want to, serve the Lord with great happiness, then we should all take shelter of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda, then we will also be always blissful. So Lord Nityananda Prabhu's lotus feet are our only shelter. So we can all take shelter. We can all seek his mercy and blessings. And there are 12 names of Nityananda Prabhu which are considered very, very auspicious. Which we can actually, read today, being it's a very special appearance day. In fact, we can always do, at least on his appearance day, we can read it. Nityananda Avaduto. Nityananda, oh, sorry, my it's not. See, no. Nityananda Avatendro Vasudha Pranavallabha Janavi Jivitapati Krishna Prema Prada Prabhu Padmavati Sutta Shriman Sachinandana Purvaja Bhavonmatto Jagatprata Rakta Gaura Kalevara. Shri Nityananda Prabhu is the embodiment of eternal bliss. He is the moon of all Avadutas and the beloved of the life breath of Vasudha. Lord Nityananda is husband enthusing Janavi with life. Janava with life. Nityananda Rama bestows ecstatic love for Krishna, and he is the Lord and Master of the devotees. Shri Nityananda is the dear son of Padmavati, and he is full of splendorous transcendental majesty. Nita is the older brother of Sachi Mata's son Nimai. Nityananda Avaduta is maddened in overwhelming ecstatic emotions. Shri Nityananda Prabhu is the savior of the universe. His complexion is golden tinged with red. This prayer, when chanted with deep faith, draws the mercy of Shri Nityananda Prabhu, who is the only means to approach Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There are many devotees who have made these prayers a daily practice and have experienced noticeable changes in their Krishna consciousness. So 12 names are not so difficult. Prabhu, you have put that in separately also, isn't it? So we all can share this in the WhatsApp group. Every day we can, from today onwards, we can also read these names. In that way, we can also get this. Shri Nityananda Ram, Avadutendro, moon among the Avadutas, or one who is beyond rules and regulation. Avaduta means Vasudha Prana Vallabha, the Prana Vallabha, the dear, the beloved of Vasudha. And Janava Jivitapati, who enthuses Srimati Janava Devi. Krishna Prema Prada, the bestower of Krishna Prema. Padmavati Sutaha, the son of Mother Padmavati. Shriman, the possessor of Shri Transcendental Majesty. Sachi Nandana Purvaja, the older brother of Shriman Mahaprabhu. Baba Unmata, one who is Divya Mada, maddening ecstasy of Krishna Prema. Jagatrata, savior of the whole world. Rakta Gaura Kalevara, one whose body is reddish golden. One who recites these 12 auspicious holy names of the moon like Nityananda Chandra every day between 6 to 8:30 a.m. will become free from all difficulties and attain all his most cherished desires. Very soon he will receive the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Deva. Okay, Hari Bol. That's wonderful. Just the last Abhishek darshan today in Mayapur alone, we will see. Yes,
Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Shushitala Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Shushitala Dechaya Jagata Jura Dechaya Jagata
Can you see?
Yes, Mataji.
Radha Krishna Paitena Drida Kori Daro Nitaba Drida Kori Daro Nitaba से संबंध नहिया वृता जन्म गेलो तार से संबंध नहिया वृता जन्म गेलो तार से पशु बड़ो दुराचार से पशु Boro Durachar Nitai na bori lo muke Majino samsara suke Vilja kule ki kori beta Vilja kule ki kori beta अहंकार मत होया निताय पाद पसरिया अहंकार मत होया निताय पाद पसरिया असत्य रे सत्य कोरी माने असत्य रे Satya Kurimani Nitaya Karuna Bhave Praje Radha Krishna Bhave Nitaya Karuna Bhave Praje Radha Krishna Bhave Dharo Nitai Charana Dukani Nitai Pada Kamala 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 Koti Chandra Sushitara Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Sushitara.
Right. So very nice. We could see the darshan from Mayapur Dham. So I know it's got delayed today, but yeah, it's wonderful that we all could get darshan of Nityananda Prabhu. So let us all pray to Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and so the takeaway lesson for all of us, many things we can take away. Everyone, would have heard, you would have heard so many lectures today from the different devotees. So something would have, you would have taken away some important message for yourself. So we all of us have taken some message, so we can try to put that in, practice from now on. At least we can keep in mind that we want to nicely chant Krishna's name, because that will make Nityananda Prabhu happy. Let us all chant our Hare Krishna mantra minimum 16 rounds. We can very nicely offer or even chant more rounds, because that will be very dear to him. Nicely worship the Lord, and reading scriptures, very important. Maybe we can take that as one of the vows, because fulfilling the desires of the spiritual master is very important, right? That means acharyas also. Prabhupada wanted all of us to read his books. All of us to read his books. So today is the day. By reading books, we are making Prabhupada happy. When we make the acharya happy, automatically Krishna becomes happy, right? So we can all pray today. I think there may be devotees who are consistently reading, but those who think that, I cannot manage, I'm not able to manage, we all can pray to the Lord that, from today onwards, I'm making, a prayer, a humble petition to you, my dear Lord, whatever may be the case. If minimum 15 minutes minimum, definitely I have to read books, either Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, or any of the Prabhupada's books. Minimum 15 minutes. We may keep it more, further extend to 30 minutes, 1 hour, whatever. But minimum 15 minutes every single day, how much ever busy we may be. It could be a festival day, it could be whatever day. But 15 minutes every day for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada. And for the pleasure of Nityananda Prabhu, because Nityananda Prabhu, and pleasure of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order is that Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Siksha, an important instruction given to Nityananda Prabhu. And when we execute that instruction, Nityananda Prabhu will become happy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be happy. Prabhupada and the entire Guru Parampara will become happy. So at least for myself, for me, the one of the takeaway I have taken is, because sometimes when there is a festivals and other things, I do read what is necessary for that, but my normal reading gets disturbed. So I thought, for me at least personally, I am praying to the Lord. I seek all your blessings also, that I want to follow these 3 things, sincerely in my life all throughout. Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Siksha, sincerely, consistently, in a mood of pleasing the Lord, and the Guru, and pleasing Guru, Krishna and Vaishnavas, and be an instrument in making many people to chant, worship, and study the scriptures. So this is my prayer to the Lord today. so that, you know, it will be very pleasing to Nityananda Prabhu, being a very instrument in the mood of giving pleasure, you know, to Guru Gauranga and Vaishnavas. So that is the prayer. So I request all of your blessings. So please give your blessings, and let all of us pray to the Lord to give His blessings, so that we are able to fulfill this instruction. He has put it in a very simple words, three simple instructions, so that we can follow and help others to follow. Like Prabhupada said, chant and make others chant. So that's what we want to chant and make others chant. We want to worship and make others worship. Make others, rather we can say, we help others to worship. We read scriptures, we study scriptures, and help others to study scriptures. You know, so that's the thing. So thank you very much. Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Shri Nityananda Avirbhav Maha Mahotsav ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
Jai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. I really want to thank Naveen Prabhu, who has put this beautiful, wonderful PPT, and also Ranjan Nimai Prabhu. He gave a lot of framework, you know, content. So now he has joined the team for the CC class, the preparations. So we thank these two wonderful devotees very silently at from the background, doing this very marvelous service, very pleasing to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So yeah, please all of you give your blessings to them. Naveen Prabhu, Ranjan Nimai Prabhu. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hope you all had a wonderful, you know, blissful Nityananda Triyodashi at home, Abhishek offering and all that, and also in Jagannath house, you know, Ujjwala Mataji and few of the devotees from Mathura Dham, they came. They cooked in the temple today, you know, for the festival. Then after that, they came here and also did Abhishek and did dressing for Jagannath. You can see Jagannath in a different style today. So very, very wonderful. So we thank all the devotees in various ways who have done various services today in the temple and in homes for the pleasure of the Lord. We are very grateful for all of your wonderful services. Such a wonderful festival. And in fact, it is the most important festival in the entire calendar. I would say for us, the most important festival is Lord Nityananda Triyodashi. His mercy only, you know, we can, you know, all other festivals we can, we can actually do all these festivals in a proper spirit. So thank you very much. Wonderful to see all of you. Hari Bol. And also we request Dhanalakshmi, we request all of your blessings for Dhanalakshmi Mataji and her Prabhu, their wedding anniversary today. Pavan Prabhu, wedding anniversary. Please, all of you chant 3 times Hare Krishna Mother. If they are there, please show their.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Haribol Mataji, I think Mataji's connection got lost. Just 1 minute, Mataji. Maybe.
Okay.
Naveen Prabhu, maybe you can stop share screen. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Hari Bol Mataji. Okay, let's all chant 3 times. Where are you? Are you in Veena Mataji's house or in your house?
No, we are at our house.
You are at your house. Okay, it's they have completed 9 years, is it?
Yes, correct.
Right. So they have completed 9 years, and they are part of Veena Mataji's, I think, Byron Avenue Bhakti. Also, they went to Soho Temple and cooked, along with other devotees. So thank you for all your wonderful service. So we request all the devotees to bless them so that they can have a happy, healthy, long Krishna conscious years in the blissful service of Krishna and the Vaishnavas. Shall we chant 3 times? Yeah. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Hare.
happy wedding anniversary once again. Thank you very much, Prabhu. And
Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so much.
Mataji.
Hari Bol. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Mataji. Hare
Hare Bol Mataji.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Mataji, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Mataji. Thank you.